Tim Kanak here with Perkins Roofing, and we are at our re-roof project, a commercial re-roof, where this is part 2, where we are changing this tile roof into a standing seam metal roof, and it's 3 buildings. You see we have our lift truck behind, ready for the delivery of the material so my guys can start taking that tile off of this building today. We have another building back here, and then we have our largest building is a 1-story behind me here. So we have this very large 1-story building into 2 2-story buildings. They all add up to 290 squares, 6 on 12 concrete tile coming off, and we are putting back on hand crimped standing seam metal. This is going to be 032 aluminum because there is the river behind me over here. So this is going to be an aluminum metal roof in the color medium bronze when it's complete. So you can see that we're lifting our XFR onto the roof right now. This roof is getting done in a single layer of XFR, not a double layer. In Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Keys, under aluminum, because of the UL listing, the Class A UL listing, which does not apply to the rest of Florida building code, you have to put 2 layers of XFR, a double layer of XFR down under that metal. But here, they're only doing 1. Technically, we could have done 1 layer of MTS, but they preferred to at least put the 1 layer of the XFR for some fire durability, and also because it's 80 mils rather than 60 mils. This is going to net them a secondary water barrier insurance discount, putting this water barrier down underneath the metal. So they're gonna get a secondary water barrier insurance discount. You can see that this truck here, fully loaded for all 3 roofs, 30 rolls of the XFR in each of these pallets behind me. So this roof here is roughly 75-ish squares. That one is roughly 75-ish squares. And then the big one is about 140 squares behind me. And you can see our lift truck as I'm coming around over here. This can get higher. Right now we just have it parked this way because we're not demoing, but the guys are gonna be basically putting the tiles today into this truck. So phase 1, if you've seen my tile re-roof video where we go through all the phases of the re-roof, is load the roof with the materials. Phase 2 is take off the tiles clean, not dirty. So we're gonna take the tiles off with no paper today and just start getting rid of these old tiles and leaving that old paper on. And that is the mission for today. Get rid of the tiles, load up the roof, and you can see it's a cloudy day. It's showing 90% chance of rain. Thankfully though, the rain is not supposed to come until 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. It is about 7:30 in the morning right now. So we should have time to get in a full day of work here at the building, taking these tiles off on this building. Hopefully by the end of the day, we'll get all the tiles off on this building right here. Good morning. It is the 2nd day of the project now, and you can see we've got all the guys here cranking tiles over on this building. Up there, we have already removed the tiles on this building. You can see there's still residual foam patties and paper over here. So today, on the 2-story building, we're going to be removing paper. We're on the 1-story building here. We're cranking on removing the tiles. We've got our harnesses now set up since we've got some of this paper here. You see right over here, we've got our ropes and our harnesses on. Once we have all the tiles removed, you can install the clips for the harness into the roof. So we've got all this moving here on only the 2nd morning, trying to get all these tiles out of here. We're hoping maybe in the next day or 2 to be done with all of the tiles. That was 75 squares there. We only have the tiles on the perimeter now because those are screwed in, and we're gonna leave those until the end so the things aren't falling down until we start demoing that area anyway. And then over here we have not started this building where my hand currently is, whereas right here we just started this one this morning. So both of those are about 75 squares each. This one that I'm standing on now is about 140 squares, the one-story building. You see on the back side here, we put the tarps down because we're tearing off in this section right now, and put plywoods over the ACs to cover the ACs, just for protection purposes. You see all the plastic all over for protection, since we're tearing off right above there. You have to love roofing in rainy season. Second day in the afternoon starts pouring out of nowhere because it's Florida. We had the plastic on the job, thankfully, so you can see we have the XFR finished on the back side, but we had to cover this side with plastic. And it's been raining all morning since then. So the guys, it's 11 o'clock now, the guys are going to remove the plastic and put the XFR on that section. We're not going to do any demo today because looks like it might rain again. Over here, we have stopped working. Tiles are foamed in. There are some random nailed in tiles. Probably someone doing some tile replacement, cheaped out instead of using foam. The tiles back, they nailed them in. And there's some random nail holes that we have to seal up here on this side. So that's fun. If you're doing tile replacement, you please use foam. Don't use nails, especially when the whole rest of the roof is foamed in. It makes sense. And that's what's going on here today. So we're losing a day from the rain. We'll be back tomorrow to make some progress. Six on 12 slope roof here. See, it's pretty pitched. Nothing insane, but pretty pitched. So the guys come up with their safety equipment to get ready. Taking the tile off first, then we remove the paper, and then we recover it with XFR after we're changing wood. So far on this side, we changed about 6 sheets of plywood. And you can see we've got our porta-john down there for the guys to use the baño, and our caution tape around the building. On a job like this, you have to have a ground guy. So my project manager, Charlie, is on the ground for any people coming in and out, because they did not shut these businesses down. These businesses are still operating. So it's important to have someone on the ground for when people are coming and going to tell the guys, "Oi, wait," so that they don't drop tiles on someone's head. So we're beginning the second week of the project now. We lost some time, one full day from rain last week because it is the summer. We were doing this project in rainy season. But as discussed last time, that roof is dried in with XFR. And a big part of this one-story roof is dried in. We still have the tower here and the back section with the cricket to dry in. But this building is approximately 140 squares. And we have roughly, I think 80 or 90 of this building dried in. You see the tiles are still up on the tower. The XFR is here. We have the tiles on that tower. All the tiles are torn off on this section. And then we've got our XFR over here, and we still have to tear off the back roof over here. But mission today is to take all the gutters down and check the fascia. This building here does have fascia damage. That one has a little bit of fascia and soffit, but this one has more on the one story. So taking these gutters down will allow us to knock test the fascia, and they're changing the gutters to 7-inch anyway because we're putting a metal roof on. And this is a 6-on-12 slope that I'm walking on. When you have 6-on-12 with metal, 6-inch gutters are not going to be big enough to catch the water because the velocity of the water coming down off of the 6-on-12 with metal on is going to be more than with tiles on top of this roof. So you can see all the trash from the roof during the demo that falls into the gutters. This is why it's smart to leave the gutters up during the demo process to catch a bunch of this trash. And then when we take the gutters down, trash comes down with it. So mission today is take these gutters down so we can check the fascia for damages. You can see the old gutters were spiked in. These are spikes, not hangers. So this is the old method, really, to spike these in. It's not good for the fascia to spike them in. The hangers are better than the spikes. But the goal today is to take these gutters down. We worked Saturday to get most of this building on the one story dried in with the XFR. There's some really big holes from these spikes on the gutters. See, removing the gutters. So we actually have good weather for once this week. First day of the week, and it's Wednesday. Today we are taking the tiles off and finishing the dry-in of this larger building here. You can see most of the paper is completed. That one's still done. Metal is coming tomorrow for this building. And then we are now taking the tiles off on this 2-story right here. So we are taking the tiles off on that building today as well to complete hopefully the drying of this one by the end of the week. And the next thing that we need to do is this fascia, because the old gutters were spiked into the fascia and left giant holes all through the fascia. I'll show you a close-up video of these giant holes. So we need to do wood putty now on the fascia and paint the fascia prior to putting our 1x2 wood nailers back, because a lot of the 1x2 is bad. A lot of the fascia is still good. These little corners, like what I'm pointing at right now where the fascia hits the wall, have rot in the corners, but most of the rest of the fascia on these buildings is good and it can just be repainted. It's just the holes from the gutter need to be sealed with wood putty and repainted on all 3 buildings. So we're looking at about 1,710 feet roughly of fascia We're gonna paint 2 coats, fill with wood putty. And so we're waiting for approval on that now from the association, because these holes are huge the way these gutters are spiked, and it should be sealed. Now, is it 100% necessary for the roofing system? No, but it should be done, and now this is the only time you can do it, because once there are new gutters back there, they're gonna be covering the holes and you're not gonna be able to access them. So if you have seen my video where we're doing the high-pitched shingle roof, there's like a 10-on-12 slope. You see what we did is what we create with the brackets and this wire, a pulley system, where then the harnesses are hooked to the pulley system so the guys can easily move up and down the roof on either side of the ridge, which we're gonna leave up for installation of panels. And taking out some bad 1x2s on the perimeter here. See, there's the 1x2 spacer. Got to lift up the XFR and pry those bad boys out. Wood nailers. So what these do, I've talked about it in other videos, is they space out the trim metal, so there's a gap between the eave of the roof and the fascia, which helps protect the fascia. It also allows you to tuck the gutters in nice and clean right under the drip metal, so that the back of the gutter can slide up right to the bottom of the wood nailer. So it'll slide up, and then you can use hangers that will come underneath the drip metal so you can tuck your gutters in nice and tight. At this point in time, we are on like day 7 really of work because of a couple of rain days. It's still the 2nd week of work. You can see this building has been demoed. The waves there are from the plywood joints, air escaping through the plywood joints. This cricket we have not demoed yet. This is the only area on this building that has not been demoed and dried in, because we keep getting sporadic rain, and that's a flat roof area. Like you can see the darker clouds behind me. Like right above us, it's nice and sunny right now, but then over here it's dark and cloudy. So this is what happens when you're roofing in rainy season. You can actually see all the excess moisture down there. It's how wet that paper is. It literally just rained up here like 5 or 10 minutes ago. So you can see we're waiting for here until we have a clear day, because what's behind me right now looks a little risky for opening up a flat roof area where all the water, if there is a leak, would probably run just straight down that wall and leak into that dentist office. So we don't want that to happen. Over here, obviously still good, taking gutters down here for the fascias. All of our gutters are down on the 1-story building, so we can paint the fascia. And then we have the back building over there. There are some excess tiles that we still need to bring down over there. Once those tiles are down, we're good to go to start drying in the last building. And the metal, again, is being delivered tomorrow, so we can start metal install on this building right here. So we are wrapping up the demo phase. You can see over here, we've got our sign torn off today now. We are still not even done with the 2nd week of work. We have our metal that's going to be coming tomorrow. Our truck is gonna come and they're gonna start zooming panels out for the first 2-story building in the back over here. That's gonna be the first one we do, the 2-story in the back there. Then we're gonna do the big 1-story building here in the front with the sign. And then lastly, we're gonna do that building for the metal. We've got most of our tiles down over there at this point. We still have to do our dry-in and our paper over on that building. But this is where we're at in this phase of the project. We have the crew starting now to paint the fascias on the building and repair the holes from the spikes. before we start putting our 1x2, because the 1x2 is pretty bad throughout most of the building, so most of the 1x2 has to be replaced. There are sections of fascia that have to be replaced, but besides that, we're trying to complete the fascia, the painting, all that stuff by early next week as we start the metal on the first building in the back. Now, if you enjoyed this video, the demo phase of this project, this very large commercial project, the 3 buildings, then please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you need roofing services, call us at 305 MIA Roof for Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Keys. For St. Lucie, Palm Beach, where this place is here in Jupiter, and for Martin County, Stewart, give us a call, 561-559-ROOF. We're also, like I said, we're going to be painting the fascias. I think we're going to be painting the buildings maybe as well. Perkins Construction, impact windows, painting, stucco, facade work, hardy board, anything exterior, even bathrooms, kitchens. Give us a call at Perkins Construction. Also waterproofings, planters, all that good stuff. Basically anything we do at Perkins Construction. Boardwalk renovations, if you've seen that video. So give us a call, Perkins Construction or Perkins Roofing, for your construction needs at any time, and Perkins Franchising. If you want to do projects like this, I will show you the way. I will teach you how to get a project like this, how to network, meet people, sell, and complete on an operations a project like this. Or if you don't want to do big things, we can start small, then get up to this. But I will teach you how to do all this stuff, and you will make money. Franchise with me, franchise at perkinsroofing.net, and we will grow and make money together, and I will teach you. You will get a hands-on, one-on-one, basically better than going to grad school. Way worth it. You're going to be making money instead of spending all your money and losing all your money. Better than going to grad school. Come work with me. You don't need to go to college. Just franchise with me, and I will show you the way for your financial freedom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one as we start putting metal on these buildings.